at 7 p.m. On the committee is myself, Councilor Reynolds. We have one order of business tonight. From the docket of January 2nd, 2024, I entertain a motion to approve $45,000, to appropriate $45,000 from account 1141000-578300 Citywide Reserve Fund for transfer to account 1145100-530895 Treasurer Legal Services.
Second.
Motion is in order. And this is to replenish the funds paid out to Sidal and Sidal for collections. They're collecting at a rate of roughly 10 to 1, and there was one of the large taxpayers. There was an unexpected bankruptcy, and as a result, they're going through the money faster than expected. So as a result, we need to replenish these funds. Any questions? With that being said, motion is in order. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes, and that concludes the business. Move to adjourn at 7:01. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned at 7:01.
At 7:01, I call the IT and Infrastructure Committee to order. In addition to me, Councilman Pope, Councilor Kobus, and Councilor Reynolds are on this committee. From the docket of January 2nd, 2024, I entertain a motion to approve expending of funds and any future grant amendments regarding the recently awarded Community Compact IT grant in the amount of $150,000, which is intended to make government more efficient and make it easier to interact with their local government.
Second.
This is a Commonwealth grant that will fund the hiring of a consultant to conduct a records review, to create a plan, to schedule and to digitize records from the Planning and Community Development Department, including Zoning Board of Appeals, Planning Board, and Conservation Commission records. It should improve access to these records for the city officials and for the public. It is something that ought to reduce the amount of space taken up by paper in the Planning Commission area. It is also an anticipated part of this work, that it will include the destruction of papers so that there will be much more room. That's the purpose. This work should be fully funded by this grant from the Commonwealth. Any questions?
Just want
Yes.
to comment that this all makes sense, and I am very supportive of this effort and in moving forward in this direction and modernizing what we do, both with this and in general, making efforts to move in this direction and sort of just adopt technology. I feel like anything we can do to take strides and move in this direction is a step forward in City Hall and in city government.
I agree. Any additional comments, questions? Then we should vote on the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The motion is passed unanimously. And at this time, 7:04, I adjourn this committee meeting.
Move to adjourn.
I move to adjourn.
Second.
This committee meeting. Thank you.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Thank you.
Well done.
Well done. Good job.
Good job.
Reporting for licensing committee, time is 7:04, and we have no business for this evening.
Reporting for, no. I'd like to call to order City Property and Claims Committee at
7:05. I have two items this evening. From the docket of January 2nd, 2024, I entertain a motion to accept the donation of $60 in Stop and Shop gift cards from veteran Frank McKenzie to the Attleboro Veterans Service Office.
Second.
Thank you, thank you. I think it's pretty self-explanatory, but does anyone have any concerns or questions? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Pam?
Pamela?
Pamela?
Aye.
Aye, thank you. That's three, that motion is passed. From the docket of January 2nd, 2024, I entertain a motion to accept the donation of $800 in Stop and Shop gift cards from the Holiday Spirit Committee to the Council on Aging.
Second.
Thank you, Lori. Again, I think it's pretty self-explanatory, and it's really kind of Stop and Shop. Any other concerns, questions? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Uh, uh, I have a question. Sorry, I have a question. What is the Holiday Spirit Committee? Well, they have I don't exactly know when it was started or that, but it is
City employees?
it's like, yeah, it's the employees in the city of Attleboro. I don't know when they started it, but it's the employees. They have a spirit committee and they collect and then offer it to usually the Council on Aging, most times to the Council on Aging.
Thank you.
Okay?
Yeah.
You're welcome. I can't tell you, like I said, when it started, but it's been a while as far as.
They do great work.
Yeah,
Great
they're
work.
great. They're pretty good. Okay, any other concerns, questions? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, and aye. Three, those are the only motions that the City Property and Claims Committee has tonight, so I would like to call for an adjournment at
7:07.
7:07.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, we are adjourned.
I'd like to call Public Works Committee to order at 7:07. Sitting on this committee is myself, Councilor Angelo, and Councilor Foa. I have three motions. From the docket of January 2nd, 2024, I entertain a motion to appropriate $40,000 from account 6100-359000, Water Enterprise Fund retained earnings to account 6100-538-053, Water Enterprise Fund trench repair.
Second.
Thank you. So basically, it's what it says for trench repair. On the next motion as well, there's also money in there that was used for trench repairs that were already done, taken from, was it Lights and Power? Yep, Lights and Power. So, as you know, with all the paving that we do, we have to redo the trenches, and any water main breaks. We all know what goes on with that. So that's what this money's for. And when they went out to rebid this, of course, came in higher, so here we are. Does anybody have any questions?
No.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. From the docket of January 2nd, 2024, I entertain a motion to appropriate $69,492 from account 6100-359000, Water Enterprise Fund retained earnings to account 6100-521020, Water Enterprise Fund Lights and Power to replenish these funds.
Second.
So again, this is to replenish funds that they used from their Lights and Power account for expenditures that were emergency-ish. So 36,000, almost 37,000 was for trench repairs that were already done. 7,500's for gate adjustments, which when we do paving projects, they have to either be raised or adjusted or repaired, the gates. And then 25,000 was for the rate fee study. Does anybody have any questions?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. From the docket of January 2nd, 2024, I entertain a motion to transfer $7,500 from account 11241-000-578-300, Citywide Reserve Fund for transfer to account 16301-000-521-020, Recreation Lights and Power.
Second.
So this is to replenish funds that they took out of Lights and Power to fix the sewer line at the Bartech Center. So, excuse me, so it was emergency-ish as well. Does anybody have any questions? No. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. And that's all the business for Public Works Committee. I'd like to call for an adjournment at 7:10.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned. Thank you.
Public Safety and Emergency Management is canceled this evening. Ordinance, Election, and Legislative Matters Committee is canceled this evening. And Special Committee for Tax Abatement Review Committee is canceled this evening.
I call Personnel, Veterans, and Human Services Committee to order at 7:10. Members of my committee is Council Waterman and Council Tavares, who is absent. For the docket of January 2nd, 2024, I entertain a motion to call for a public hearing on 1/16/24 regarding the proposed amendments to Chapter 13, including the following. Changing the...
Point of order, Councilor Angelo, that's to be held because there's a public hearing on the 16th.
All right, so I didn't even need to, I'm sorry. I
No
thought I
worries.
was calling for the public hearing by doing this, so, all right.
I think
Okay.
we called for
Yeah.
it on the floor when it came down.
I thought so, yeah, okay. Yep, all right. All right,
Why don't we just call it just to ensure? You just have to call for the public hearing. You don't need to read the changes, but rather be safe than sorry, but I'm 95% sure we called for it in
yeah,
December.
I
But
think you're right. Do you want me to read it again? Start over?
yeah, might as well.
Okay. From the docket of January 2nd, 2024, I entertain a motion to call for a public hearing on 1/16/24 regarding the proposed amendments to Chapter 13.
Second.
Thank you, Councilor, President Delicio. Sorry, okay, so we'll be here for the public hearing. Any questions, concerns, comments? Hearing none?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes 3-0. From the docket of January 2nd, 2024, I entertain a motion to approve the appointment of John Wright to fill the 3-year term of Zoo Director, term to expire 2027.
Second.
Thank you, President Delicio. So basically, this is for the new Zoo Director. I've been hearing great things about them. The city is very excited to have him down here. He's got a wealth of experience. We're going to get this taken care of because it's important we get this taken care of, and then we're going to bring John down as soon as we can get him down here and come down and meet the whole council, and we can ask him any questions we might need to. Any comments, questions, concerns?
Sounds good.
Council Fuller?
When exactly does his term expire?
3-year term,
When did it begin?
2027.
January.
I would think it's going to be, it's going to be January, it'd be expire January 2027.
Just touching on that, I would assume probably the day is approved would be the day that would be finalized, or whenever it's signed. So whatever that, I would say that's to be determined.
Yeah,
The
so
term begins that day.
President
So
Delicio.
generally, when we do appointments, whether it's to a volunteer board, whether it's to, in this case, department head, the approval isn't a specific day, it comes down to a month, so it'll be January of 2027.
Thank you, President Delicio.
You're welcome.
Any other questions, comments? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0. That's all we have for Personnel, Veterans, Human Services Committee. I call for adjournment at 7:13. I'm sorry, all those in favor?
Aye,
Aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.
sir.
I call zoning and land use committee to order at 7:14. Members of this committee include myself, Laura Dolan, and Nick Lavoy. So, excuse me, Councilor Dolan and Councilor Lavoy. Tonight we have a couple items on pieces of business. From the docket of January 2nd, 2024, I entertain a motion to approve expending funds and any future grant amendments regarding the award of a municipal vulnerability preparedness grant in the amount of $101,250 from the Executive Office of Energy and Environmental Emergency Affairs, with part of the local match consisting of in-kind services worth $2,350 provided by the Director of Planning and Environmental Planner.
Is there a second?
Oh, second, excuse me.
All right, motion is in order. What I got from Mr. Gary Arazian was that basically these funds are from the grant, and actually the second one is to move, this one's to move the money, and then was to appropriate the grant money for this grant that was already given to us.
Sounds good.
Any other questions or comments?
It seems worth, oh, may I?
Go ahead.
It seems worth the in-kind services of $2,300 with a $101,000 grant, so we'll take it.
Right. All right, voting on this portion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, the second one is related, but from the docket of January 2nd, 2024, I entertain a motion to transfer $33,750 from account 11241000-578380, citywide reserve for capital, to account 11241000-599200, citywide transfer to grant, and to further transfer $33,750 to account 2353N4-499700, MVP Green Stormwater Feasibility Municipal Distribution, to satisfy the requisite cash match for the MVP grant. Again, this, I had mentioned.
Sorry.
No, you're supposed to do the second first, before I talk. Anyway, as I mentioned, it's related to the first one about the grant, moving the money to where it needed to go. Any other questions? Oh, go ahead.
I don't,
Yes.
is that account number, is that right? I've never seen a letter in an account number before. Go.
If I may, thank you.
Yes.
Yes, so that is for the account number for the grant. So sometimes for the grant, you'll see it a little bit different when it comes down. And if I may just add on, this, it's just important to note that this piece of business that Council Sawyer just read, this is the cash match. Some grants come down where the city has to have a cash match in order to qualify for the grant. Some don't, a lot of them don't, and it'll say that in the motion, that there is no cash or no matching funds needed. This is one of the rare ones, and we'll see it a lot of times with zoning grants. I just wanted to make sure that clarification was out there, because it's convoluted, especially on day one, but
Yeah, thank you.
did a good job.
Thank you.
Did a nice job.
And to vote on that, all of those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Motion passes. And that's all I have for items that I'm going to bring forward. And that concludes the business for the Zoning and Land Use Committee. I move to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I call the I almost said my last committee. I call the Transportation and Traffic Committee together at 7:18. And, well, frankly, we have no business this evening. However, I will be doing some research. I wanted to add this. I'll be doing some research on what is being discussed with the Transportation Safety Committee, and I will be calling people over the course of the next week, including the chair especially. I'll be much more knowledgeable at that point. Are there any questions? None? Okay, I did not mention that our committee members are Councilor Sawyer, Councilor Dolan, and myself. So I would call for an adjournment.
Second.
7:19. Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
I have an aye, and we are adjourned.
Excellent. And then Councilor Angelo, just for the special committee.
All right. Special Committee for Classification Compensation has no business, and we go for a meeting at the next appropriate time.
That's it.
That's it, that's a wrap.
Took long enough.
No, we haven't implemented hers.
So it wasn't that bad, right?